Hello, readers, and welcome back to Quarantine Literacy. We are continuing with our character study. Today we have one of my favorite book characters of all times, Eloise, from Kay Thompson's Eloise, and the drawings, which are amazing, are by Hilary Knight. This is truly one of my favorite book characters ever. I think she is so funny and she's got such great voice. You can really hear her personality coming through. And you'll hear as I read, because she narrates the entire book. And so you get a real sense of her mischievousness and how funny she is and how smart she is. And we're going to think about, as we read, what parts of this character do we really admire? What do we look up to in her? What's great about her? And what mistakes can I learn from that she makes? Okay. I am Eloise. I am 6. I'm a city child. I live at the Plaza. There is a lobby which is enormously large with marble pillars and ladies in it and a revolving door with PP on it. I spend an awful lot of time in the lobby. For instance, every day I have to go down to the desk clerk and see what's happening. Then I stop by the mail desk to see if they have any stamps. Then I go to the house phones and make several calls to see if anybody's in. The bell captain knows who I am. If there's a lot of luggage trying to get in the elevator and these people are all in a crowd and like smoking and from out of town or something, I edge into the middle of it and I lose my skate key. I am a nuisance in the lobby. Mr. Salomon said so. He is the manager. I always say, "Good morning, Mr. Salomon," and he always says, "Good morning, Eloise." My mother knows the owner. I live on the top floor. Of course, I am apt to be on any floor at any time, and if I want to go anywhere, I simply take the elevator. For instance, if I happen to be on the 2nd floor, I just press that button until it comes up, and as soon as that door is open, I get in and I say, "5th floor, please." And then those doors clank shut. We ride up, and I get out on the 5th floor. And as soon as that elevator is out of sight, I skibble up those stairs to the 8th floor. And then I press that button, and when that same elevator comes up, and as soon as that door is open, I get in and I say, "15th floor, please." And when those doors clank shut, we ride up, and I get out on the 15th floor. And then as soon as that elevator is out of sight, I skibble down to the 12th floor, and they press that button. And when that elevator comes up, and those doors open, I say, "The lobby, please." And then those doors clank shut. We ride down without saying absolutely one word. And then I get into the next elevator and I go all the way up. And here is a drawing of her going in and out of the elevator. It says, "Then I get off at the top floor and look in the mirror at me, Eloise." I live down at the end of the hall. Sometimes I take 2 sticks and skitter them along the walls. And when I run down the hall, I slomp my feet against the woodwork, which is very good for scuffing and noise. And sometimes I slomp my skates if I want to make a really loud and terrible racket. Look at all those people. They're like, "What's happening? It's so noisy out there." We have a buzzer on our front door. I always lean on it. That's how Nanny knows it's me, Eloise. Nanny is my nurse. She wears tissue paper in her dress, and you can hear it. She is English and has 8 hairpins made out of bones. She says that's all she needs in this life for Lord's sake. Nanny says she would rather I didn't talk all the time. She always says everything 3 times, like, "Eloise, you can't. Sometimes I hit her on the ankle with a tassel. She's my mostly companion. You can see how much she loves her nanny. I have my own room. It has a coat rack which is as large as me. Very messy room. Look at that. I have a dog that, looks like a cat. His name is Weenie. Sometimes I put sunglasses on him. Then I have to scratch his back with a wire hanger. I have a turtle. His name is Skipperdy. He eats raisins and wears sneakers. The Plaza is the only hotel in New York that will allow you to have a turtle. Skipperdy and me, we always know it's morning because Weenie breathes in our faces and kisses us. The absolutely first thing I have to do is braid Skipperdy's ears. Otherwise he gets cross and develops a rash. Nanny gets up feeling tired, and puts on her kimono and skibbles over to slam those windows down shut so that we don't freeze. Then she stretches her muscles and feels fresh. Nanny yawns out loud. Then I pick up the telephone and call room service. Ooh, I absolutely love room service. They always know it's me and they say, "Yes, Eloise." And I always say, "Hello, this is me, Eloise, and would you kindly send 1 roast beef bone, 1 raisin, and 7 spoons to the top floor and charge it, please. Thank you very much." Then I hang up and look at the ceiling for a while and think of a way to get a present. I usually yawn out loud several times. Then Nanny gives the signal and Weenie and Skipperdy and me, we skibble out of bed as fast as everly we can, and Nanny wraps us in our robe and holds us tight. I pat her on the bottom, which is large. Then we do our morning duties and laugh and sing. And here's a silly song that they sing. Ooh, I just love Nanny. I absolutely do. While I'm brushing my teeth, there is this pigeon who's always hanging around our bathroom window, and he does absolutely nothing but coo, like, oh. He's fat and grizzly, and I holler at him, and he flies over to the Sherry Netherland for a while to see what they're up to. Weenie and me weigh 36. Nanny weighs 18 stones. Skipperdy weighs absolutely nothing at all. Unless he has his sneakers on, then of course he weighs 1/2. Then Nanny puts on her corset, which is enormously large, which is very good for her back. Kleenex makes a very good hat. So we're really getting to know Eloise as a character. She has her routines that she does every day, and she has these people that she interacts with every day, including her pets and her nanny and all the folks that work at the hotel. And we're seeing that she's very silly, right? She's gnawing her teeth at that pigeon, and she's putting a Kleenex box on her head, but she's also quite creative. She's coming up with all these different ways to play because she lives in a hotel in the city. When we are clean, we skibble in our scuffs to the kitchen, and there's Renee with room service. Renee always says, "Bonjour, Eloise. Voici votre petit déjeuner?" Nanny always says, My, doesn't that look good?" And I always say, "Bonjour, Renee, merci, and charge it, please." Nanny has Irish bacon, which reminds her of her brother. You have to eat oatmeal or you'll dry up. Anybody knows that. Nanny likes her coffee hot. An egg cup makes a very good hat. I have 2 dolls, which is enough. Their names are Sabine and Sailor. Sabine is a rag doll, and she has absolutely no face at all, partially because she came from Jamaica by Air Express. Otherwise, she has shoe button eyes and 2 right legs. She is rather unusual. Sailor is a very large doll and has a hard head and no arms. She was in the most terriblest accident, and she bleeded so hard that she almost choked in the night, and the ambulance came and took her to the hospital, and it was an emergency. And then they had to give her all this terribly dark medicine and a lot of band-aids, and when she came back home she was weak, and she had to take cod liver oil. I gave her a strawberry leaf from under my grapefruit for not whimpering, and Weenie licked her face. They have to have a teaspoon of water every hour or so you can see there are an extremely lot of extra work. So we're realizing that she has a great imagination, doesn't she? She has this whole story about how her dog got into this accident and the emergency, there was an emergency and the ambulance came and she had to go to the doctors and take all this medicine, and looks like she's really good at make-believe, doesn't it? Here's what I like to do. Make things up. Well, we've seen that, haven't we? Here's what I can do. Chew gum. Write. She's writing on the wall, you guys. So we're also, yes, she's creative and funny, but we're noticing that maybe she's a little sneaky too, right? She's not always making the best choices. Spell. Stand on my head for the longest amount of time. Stand on my toes. Get dizzy and fall down. Make a terrible face. And here's the thing of it. Most of the time I'm on the telephone. My day is rather full. I have to call the valet and tell him to get up here and pick up my sneakers to be cleaned and pressed and have them back for sure without fail. Then I have to play the piano and look in the mirror for a while. And then I have to open and close the door for a while. And as soon as I hear talking and laughing, I skitter out and run down the hall. So we're noticing again that she's a little bit, she's kind of a scamp, huh? She's running down the hall when she hears people in the hall. And she's pretty funny. She's just looking in the mirror for a while, opening and closing the door. What a silly goose. And if there's an open door, I have to walk in and pretend I am an orphan. And sometimes I limp and sort of like bend to the side and look sort of sad between the arms. And then they give me a piece of melon or something. So she's tricking these guys into thinking that she needs help. Then I roam around the halls. Then I have to scurry down to the 10th floor to adjust those thermostats in case anyone needs it. If there's a fire on the 6th floor, I know how to fix it. Then I have to hide and see what those hotel officers are up to. All they do is walk and talk, and I have never been arrested. And then I have to hurry back to the top floor. So she's kind of got like free reign over this whole hotel. She is just all over the place.